Hello! So, about the Vala. I'll read it from a book here. So, sometimes the Norns bore the name of Vala, or prophetesses, for they had the power of divination, a power which was held in great honor by all the Germanic folk, who believed that it was restricted to the female sex only. The predictions of the Vala were never questioned, and it is said that the Roman general Drusus was so terrified by the appearance of Valedia, one of these prophetesses, who warned him not to cross the Elbe, that he actually called for a retreat. She foretold his approaching death, which indeed happened shortly after through a fall from his horse. These prophetesses, who were also known as Edisia, or Dices, or Hegdices, I fucking hate reading English, officiated at the forest shrines and in the sacred groves, and always accompanied invading armies. Riding ahead or in the midst of the host, they would vehemently urge the warriors on to victory, and when the battle was over, they would often cut the bloody eagle upon the bodies of the captives. The blood was collected into great tubs, wherein the Dices plunged their naked arms up to their shoulders, previous to joining the wild dance with which the ceremony ended. It is not to the wondering at that these women were gratefully feared. Sacrifices were offered to propitiate them, whatever the fuck that means. Wow, propitiate? What the fuck? Anyway, and it was only in later times that they were degraded to the rank of witches. So, basically, this is talking about the women in Germanic mythology. And from what I know, what would happen is, in the Germanic pagan days, when we were fighting all the Christians and the Romans and all that, the women would tell the men which battles. They would do a shamanic journey, and they would travel around in their journey, and they would find out which battles they could win and which battles they would lose. And then they would tell the king or the earl or whatever you would call the tribe leader guy who's making the decision to go to battle. These women would tell them, yes, fight this battle, you will be victorious. Or do not fight this battle, you will not be victorious. Wait, there's another battle later you can fight where you will be victorious. So that is how much power and respect we had for our Germanic women before Christianity. And when we began to lose against the Christians, it was because our men stopped listening to our women. The women would say, don't fight this battle, you will lose. And the men stopped listening. They started to behave like a Christian. And why did this happen? Because our men were going into Roman army as mercenaries, and then they would come back after and join the tribe again. They would go off and do things like that, some of our men. And we were picking up, through hundreds of years of dealing with these people, we were starting to pick up these Roman and these lifestyle changes were coming into play even while we were pagan, because we were being influenced by the Romans and these Christians that we had in Europe who were conquering all over Europe. And as a result, we started to behave more like them. Just like today, look at all these white idiots who act like a bunch of niggers, listening to their rap music and shit like that. That's what happens. You socialize with them, you live near them, and you're going to start to fucking act like them and behave like them. So, sure enough, we started to disrespect our women and not listen to them, because Christians, as we all know, have little to no respect for the woman, and especially no respect for the power that the women have on a spiritual level. And us Germanics always had this respect, and because of it, we were almost always victorious. And then sure enough, as soon as we stopped listening to our women, what happened? We got taken over by the Christians. And slowly, it took a long time, but we kept losing and losing and losing. And it's because we were losing our paganism. We were losing our natural programming. We were losing what we are, our racial soul knowledge, the knowledge of the folk. We were losing that all, and we were adopting and learning new ways of living by these Romans and Christians. And as a result, what happened? We lost. We started losing more and more. And eventually they captured us. And after however many years, look what happened now. Now all these fucking idiots in Europe who think they are nationalists. Oh, Christian Europe, Christian Europe. Fuck, those people, they should be lined up against the wall and, bullet in their fucking head. Go worship your Jew God in Israel. Get the fuck out of Europe. You are not a European if you're a Christian. That's Stockholm Syndrome. Identifying with the people who captured you. Makes me sick to my fucking stomach, to be honest with you, thinking about it. But, so that is the reason why Christianity took over Europe. Because we stopped listening and respecting the power of the feminine, the power of the women. Tschüss.